Hey, what's up everyone? This is SnackBox. Hope you all had a great day. Guys, in this video we are going to talk about a couple of things, especially the live arena seasons, the upcoming community weeks which will start tomorrow, the current fusion, CVC, a lot of things we need to talk about, so let's jump right into it. So here we go. Let's start with the community weeks. So if you open up this tab here on the left, you can see the reward calendar and it will start tomorrow. From tomorrow, you can get rewards every time you log in. Basically, every day you will get, I don't know what exactly, but also fragments for this champion. So it's going to be a free login champion, basically. So as far as I know, you can miss other rewards than the fragments, you know, if you don't log in on these days, but apparently you can always collect the fragments. So yeah, keep that in mind if you want to get your hands on some nice rewards. I think it's going to be like energy gems and silver and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to give us shards or not. So I don't know what the other rewards going to look like. The other thing that I want to point out is this voting. So as you can see here, the majority already voted the right relic, in my opinion. The other three relics are not as great. So 25% so far voted for this relic. 64% voted for the wand, which is arguably one of the best relics in the game at the moment in terms of arena and PvP. Because not only does it give you speed, right? If you rank it up, it also has this unique ability to reflect sheeps and all these other crowd control debuffs that are really, really annoying, especially now with the RNG meta. This fits perfectly in and it can win you a lot of fights. So for me personally, there is no other option in here but this one to vote for. So you should definitely, you know, press the button on this one. Some players say the Stagnator should be the one we should vote for because it is harder to get, you know, crafting materials from CVC. But in my opinion, you know, it is not a bad relic, but in my opinion, if you have a wand, instead you wouldn't use the Stagnator. You know what I mean? You would rather put a wand on your champions than a Stagnator. This is just my opinion. So for me personally, there's no point of voting for the Stagnator, and for sure not for this little piece of trash, because it is really bad, right? Let's be honest, it is so bad. We have epic relics that outperform this relic by a huge amount. It's not even close. And the problem is that it's conditional. The bonus damage here is conditional with each exposed neck. And also, it only can be used in Hydra, so it's like, I don't know, people don't like Hydra anymore. A lot of people don't enjoy it. We keep getting Hydra fusions, which will be the next topic. Now, if they would do one little adjustment, this relic would actually be very decent for Hydra, but even the way it is now, it's not even good. So if they would change this sentence here from, you know, deal 5% more damage for each exposed neck present, so erase the present, or each neck you decapitate in the battle. So you will deal extra damage every time you decapitate a head, and that caps at, I don't know, 50% if you max it out or something. You know, then it would be actually viable again and usable. Otherwise, it is just not worth the investment. An Ereti Coronet at, you know, level 3, rank 3, or, you know, even rank 2 outperforms this one easily. And that is the problem. So whoever voted for this relic, in my opinion, you did a mistake, but luckily the majority is voting for the wand. But talking about Hydra relics, let's talk about the new fusion. Lysanthier Beast Bane. So I actually posted a poll on YouTube and I was, you know, wondering how people feel about the new fusion. Do they like it, or are they going to skip it, or are they going for it? And it really surprised me how many people are actually skipping this fusion. So um, that really made me curious if it's only, from my viewers or just across the board. But even when I checked, different content creators polls, they were basically looking very, very similar. Like 80 to 85% always said they're gonna skip this fusion, and that is actually pretty interesting to me because I don't remember if there was any fusion where like 80% were skipping it. That is actually pretty high. That's a large amount of people that are skipping. And I think the reason for that is that, out of the last 4 fusions, we had 3 Hydra champs. So with this included, right? So we had Mad Hatter, which is, by the way, also a Hex and a Weekend champion. And Lysantir Beastbane does place Weekend 2 and Hex on the A1. Not even an AoE Hex, which is a little bit stupid to me because you want to get Hex on that one head that is redirecting your attacks. So it doesn't really make sense. It should be an AoE attack and then it would make sense. So basically we had Mad Hatter, which is way better than this champion, right? You can pair them together, but then again, both of them have weekends, so it's not really a good team composition because they basically almost do the same thing, just with the difference that this guy is like should be or is a damage dealer and Mad Hatter is an ally attack champion. But either way, both of them, have 2 of the same debuffs. So that doesn't really make sense to me. And then besides Mad Hatter, we also had Esme, which is also a weekend champion and the block buffs champion. So we kind of have like 3 champions almost back to back that have, weekend. So I don't really understand the approach here. I don't really understand why they do this. In my opinion, it would make more sense if they would give us, a champion that has a combination of debuffs that we don't have yet, right? Like they gave us Mad Hatter with Weekend and Hex. Now give us something with decreased speed and decreased defense, for example. Esme was Weekend and block buffs, so I don't know, block buffs is alright, I guess, but make it decrease attack instead of Weekend, for example. So there are a lot of options what they could have done, but they chose to give us 3 champions for the same content that kind of like cover the same debuff. So it's really, really weird. I don't know why they do it or what the idea is behind that, but that's something that doesn't really make sense to me personally. So yeah, I guess that is like one of the reasons why people are skipping this fusion. I know not every fusion can be top tier, can be the best, newt level where you can use them almost everywhere in every dungeon, and I totally understand that. But what about giving us champions that fit different roles and not give us 3 champions that do the same debuff? So I totally understand where people are coming from. They're frustrated by the way Hydra is now with all the changes. It's for most people it's not enjoyable anymore. But also we had 2 fusions with Weekend for Hydra, and one of them even had Hex too. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna skip this one, right? So I can totally see that point and where these people are coming from. Either way, I'm going for this fusion. I'm still gonna do it. I'm basically part of the 5% that is going for this fusion. I don't think I will regret it. I need to do these things anyway that I need to do for the fusion, right? I'm always looking to upgrade my gear, farm dungeons, get silver, do all these things that we have to do anyway. I'm not getting low on shards. I am maybe a little bit low on sacred shards, but that's gonna change, with time through rewards, monthly rewards, clan boss rewards, demon lord rewards. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for it, and I don't think it's gonna be a regret. Also, I don't want to be in a position where I miss out on a champion that I would actually need for Faction Wars Hard, for example, because this champion is actually, if you look at him from an isolated perspective, let's say the last 2-3 fusions didn't happen, he is actually not that bad. He has decreased speed, he has hacks, he has weaken, he does stack up damage for each devoured champion in Hydra. This will not help in Faction Wars, but still he ignores ally protection and his death stacks up for each active buff. So he is not a bad champion. He's just not, the best or one of the best champions. But he's death based, and that is pretty good. And I think he will be a great part of my team, especially with Prisma, right? Because Prisma is like one of the champions that has an ally attack in the High Elves. The other one would be Fina, but Fina is really hard to get, right? You can only get her by pulling shards on progressive events, and most of the time you don't have 2x's or whatever on those events, so it's really hard to get Fina. But I pulled Prisma recently. He's a High Elf, also Spirit Affinity, and he has this ally attack. So that could be actually a pretty solid, team combination. But my High Elves are also pretty stacked. I have Ethos, I have Arbiter, I have Bellanor, I have Authorion. So there are a lot of good High Elf champions, and I don't know if he's good enough to replace an Ethos, for example. But we will see. I don't know what the conditions will be for Faction Wars Hard. Maybe we have something similar to Trials or something like that, and that's where he comes into play. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what will happen. I don't know how the content is going to look like. And I rather go for a fusion that is basically for free for me personally, because I'm going to do the things anyway that I would need to do for a fusion. So why not pick up this champion? That is basically my mindset about fusions. All right, but enough about the fusion. Another thing I want to talk about is the live arena season. And there is actually a pretty huge upset about this whole thing, because everybody that was participating in this, in these end of season rewards is now really, let's get to the point. They are frustrated, disappointed, and a lot of players that reach the top 100 say, I'm not going to do it again. I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm not going to do it again. It was not rewarding enough. And the reason for that is that almost nobody read, the small print down here. So it says the chests earned by finishing 1st, 2nd to 10th, and 11th to 100th will drop resources. The drops will vary depending on the chest. So you will not get all of this. You will get one of these shards, and then, I don't know, maybe one of these books, and then one of these chests, and then, one of these relic crafting materials, and the frame. The frame is guaranteed, but everything else, it can be 2 void shards, it can be 2 primal shards, or 1 sacred shard. And that is absolutely crazy to me. The first thing that came to my mind was, that is such a Plarium move. Like, I don't know. But it says it right here. So if anyone would have noticed it and read this line here at the bottom, they would have known that it's a chest. So it's kind of like, what are we gonna do now? I mean, it was clear from the start, right? It says it at the bottom, literally right here. But I understand that it's misleading, and a lot of players expected these rewards, but only got like half of it. So yeah, that is like one thing that is a little bit problematic now, because I think a lot of live arena players will not put the effort in anymore. The reason for that is simply that they are frustrated and disappointed. So yeah, huge upset for the live arena community. And to be honest, I don't see the reason why not to give them all these rewards in here. I would happily give them to everybody participating to get to the top 100, because the reason for that is that they spend a huge amount of gems. All these guys, or like most of the guys, or like pretty much everybody, I think, is spending, on the top 100 on the seasonal leaderboards. I don't think there's one free-to-play player in here. A lot of these players have close to 1,000 or over 1,000, not talking about the first place or the top 10 fights. And you only can get that many fights if you spend gems on refills. And so, I don't know, they spent like 3, 5, 10,000 gems or whatever. And what they get in the end is, a chest that could possibly, maybe contain one of these rewards. So it's like, why not give them all of this, But it is what it is now, and I think that was a big mistake of Plarium. A lot of players are upset about it, and yeah, I can totally understand why. Also, a little update on the CVC. Yeah, we are getting totally destroyed by Crypto and his mates. So as you can see, both these guys, like 1 and 2, they have pretty much more points than our whole clan, which is absolutely insane to me, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Seems like this is the first CVC or personal reward CVC this clan loses since 2 years, as far as I know. I only joined like a little bit longer than half a year ago. So since I joined, we haven't lost a PR CVC, and apparently they haven't lost one in like 2 years. So this is the first one. And I don't know what the reason for that is, that we are matching with, a clan like this. But, it happened. It is what it is. But hats off to them, Also, another thing I want to talk about is that Conquest is undefeated in Siege so far, which is pretty impressive to me. As I said, I only joined like, half a year ago, a little bit more. And we never lost a Siege. So that is pretty impressive to me. And yeah, maybe we can do a video on that and get some more inside information from Twin, because most of the time he does a really, really great job on planning sieges and like, the whole pre-battle phase. He does that really well, and the guidance, and that plays a huge factor in, never losing a single siege. So that is pretty impressive to me. And yeah, I would love to talk to him, maybe make an interview or something to get some inside information for you guys. I think that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about all these things, the fusion. Why do you think people are skipping it? Or why do you think that many people are skipping it? What do you think about the live arena rewards? Are they justified, or is it pretty much a scam? Also, don't forget to vote for the wand of submission, the best relic you can vote for. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.